Wild on it. See Crimea. There you go. We should be able to mop up this place relatively easily. Revolutionary War is going on. Let them fight it out and we shall see who's left standing. We are in places. Come down here. Here. South as well. Are pretty outnumbered. Africa's having its civil war. Whoever's attacking, stop it. You stop it. Fall back. No, fall back. With this. Oh, we've taken Hull. That's good. Uses our front line somewhat. Right. We need to come here. Not that way. On this line. Maybe on this line. Come down the centre of the country. Go to the south before we lose it. No one starts at war, or rather no one sends his alt through, but to do so without first being clear in his mind what he intends to achieve by that war, how he intends to conduct it. End of Reich Commissariat Norwegen? Or has it truly erupted yet? Norway's just themselves independent. Not built fast, reinforced quickly enough. Hold the line! No large gaps. Oh no, I've left it too soon. Ah! Right, you need to come here and attack him before he gets into Birmingham. Spread yourselves out. What's breaking out? Oh, we've already lost that Bristol. This is a pocket no more. Alright, new plan. Like that. Back. Back. Attacking. And just smaller pocket. Fortunately, I think we have to give up some of the south. Whoever's attacking, don't. There, right, we've held him in place. No, we need to. Off attack in a moment. See equipment. What are we missing? Anti-tank, artillery, war equipment, planes, everything. Let's flyby's on convoys. Let's do some of them. Let's drop that down to see. One going on anti-tank. Suppose we better trying to do artillery. Really slow productions. Still have decisions to open. Oh no 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 no! All pocketed again. Right. Fall back. And push is causing us problems. Comes away. Seemed that you couldn't convince anybody at times. He remembered how his ideas were rejected, the anger he felt when he heard of the invasion had destroyed the possibility of ever accomplishing what he wanted to do, and how Parliament sacked him, too afraid to contemplate retaliation, too feeble-minded to stomach the thought of answering the atrocities that happened right outside their doorstep. And he remembered how he felt that day, 15 years ago, when nobody listened to him, believed or understood him. He was a man who was interested in the concept of justice untempered. And when David Sterling showed up outside his house, he knew things would be different. Sterling was perhaps the greatest proponent of the concept, and he managed to twist Claude supporting what some had called a ludicrous idea. War wreckage and aircraft around England were sold. Scrapyard or an aircraft restoration foundation as a cover stone. Taken to a yard near the airfield, where they were probably prepared for operational use. Now tonight, the plan was put into action. 4 of the aircraft were grounded, unable to perform satisfactorily, some unable to perform at all. At 20 ready, it would be conducting a show over the port of Plymouth. Arthur Harris smiled. He recalled the words of Hugh Trenchard, the man who'd founded the RAF. I have laid the foundations for a castle. Nobody built anything bigger than a cottage on them. Fire and fury. Oh. Bombing. Right, looks like we are at least going to secure this section of land. Maybe. That got fair enough. Port. Ah, they managed to get through. That's annoying. Oh, we are somewhat winning. We spare at least a bit of a risk. Need to make some gains in this war. Stop them. Right. With fire and fury. Sorry you couldn't clear you to fly, Arthur, said Sterling as he sat in the main hangar office, getting warmer on the stove. I know you would love to see it. Hell, I would have wanted to get up there myself, that would seem so important. Harris looked on into the fire. David, he asked, you ever felt that you were in a position to win the war and you didn't? Sterling pondered the query for a second before responding, I've had a few operations go bad and a few regrets. Never as much power to change things as I do now. There was a study, began Harris. It said we could win the war in 18 months. In 18 months, we could have shattered the psyche of the German people, left a third of their population destitute and homeless, and break the back of their industrial machine, all without a single man on the continent. That was the promise of aerial bombing. I believed in that study, David. I had dreams of ending the war at a single stroke with 1,000 bombers over a single city. To end the U-boat menace with a flattening of Hamburg. To smoke the Ruhr off the face of the earth, light Nuremberg with glow of white phosphorus. Open the gates of hell under Berlin. But they didn't believe me. The Nazis did what I wanted to do to them with a single bomb over Honolulu. He sighed. We have something now, and perhaps this raid will prove area bombing might yet hold the key to securing England's future. We should be over Plymouth by now. So in reality, Bomber Harris is a real guy, and as he talks about, was a proponent of mass aerial bombing during the Second World War. A lot of the bombing campaigns for the cities was all kind of his brainchild. Yeah. Good fence in. Oh, it's all very shaky. Right, we might just push through here. R. Stopping that. How's the best to do it? We'll get you to fall back. Back to. Whew, almost there. Many in the German garrison were preparing for another night in the barracks of Plymouth Naval Yard, preparing for their beds for another night of focus. They take notice of the air raid siren and are confused. Drill? Rebels don't have an air force, do they? Then a panicked officer rushes in and screams at them to man their post. They run outside, still not believing what they heard was true. This isn't the second Weltkrieg, they think. We should be doing an action like this straight from the past. Overhead, the past has already arrived. 20 bombers have dropped their loads, barrels of diesel fuel with white phosphorus grenades attached to ensure detonation. 9:36, the first bomb detonates. The inhabitants of Plymouth, civilian and garrison alike, were transported back to the darkest days of the Second World War. 24 minutes later, a report is radioed to the airfield. Complete success, the aircrew says. The dockyards are light, the tank farm East End has gone off, and the fires are spreading. It's too much for Arthur Harris. First time in years he begins to cry. They have done it. They have truly done it. Sterling, he says proudly. Germans. Oh. Fortunately, they're doing pretty well on land. Sure, I asked one of you to fall back. You are. Time. Whew. Come on, we don't want to fight. We want to fight! We want to fight. Excellent. All Jewish Defence Battalion. Moshe and Judah waited for this day for long. The Jewish community in England was hit hard in the Second World War. Many had been forced out of their homes, their property had been seized and transported into the Reich as warlord, and many had been killed in the invasion and the aftermath. Moshe and Judah were both not immune to these. Or some sort of refuge in the north. Moshe and Judah chose a different path. Joining up with the other resistance groups, they vowed to continue the conflict, bring justice to the fallen and suffering. He called for other Jews to take up the call, and many did. Secret synagogues were canvassed, clandestine celebrations were infiltrated. Soon there was a silent Jewish resistance force across the island. When the call came out from Claude, they rose up. Now was the time to defend themselves. Now was the time to ensure that justice was carried out, and now was the time to ensure that what happened would never happen there. Okay. Give me more troops, maybe? Oxfordshire. Meanwhile, got one breakthrough and suffering terribly everywhere else. Backing. All back here. Rubbish. Oh, how did we lose this? Oh, what's going on? Which one of you is not? Two. Birmingham. Oh, and they got someone there, so all that was for absolutely nothing. God damn. Fall back. Falling back the wrong way, mate. Sense of light. Getting our butts kicked right. So we've lost most of our southern holdings. Just cannot. This is being pushed from the Germans at the minute. Horrible look. Fine, we'll just get. Fine. Yeah. Who's attacking? Let's be doing that. Are holding. Oh, we're not holding here though. Everyone's going to be surrounded on about sides. Wait a minute. At times. Our armies into Preston. Bye. Trying to push coming here, which we did pretty easy. In fact, they have left. Again, we just go retail wide place defense. That would be quite nice. One. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Robert Hart was not a very good soldier. He was not a good runner, not a good spotter, and a rather abysmal shot. But by George, he wanted to serve England. He wasn't a caring officer, worried if Robert got in an actual war he might kill someone. Said that posting in H Company in the Scottish Highlands was available. Robert was just chuffed of the opportunity to save his country. One day, in a routine patrol in the middle of the blizzard, Robert saw something. Something off. A black figure with... What a Stahlhelm? But Mary to Jesus. He called out to his brave companions. They must not have heard him over the blizzard. The German was getting closer, my god. He's got his gun pointed right at us. Robert raised his own gun, shouting the man at halt. Bang! The rest of the patrol looked over, stunned. Robert stood there, shaking. Everyone just stared for a few seconds. Then, God's name, do you think you're shooting at? It was the Jerry, right over there, 50 yards or so. In the Scottish Highlands? Are you stupid? Look, the helmet. The patrol walked over to a crumpled figure in the red snow. There they saw the cross of Andrew on his shoulder. Some made crosses on her chest. One man vomited. Robert just stared, numb. Oh, Christ alive. Right, this never happened. Bury the body. Deep. Not under the snow. I mean 6 feet in the ground. I don't care if it's frozen and nobody speaks a word to the lieutenant and we've all had it. Hours later, the patrol returned. Anything out of ordinary, chap? You're a touch late. Robert slumped along, decided he'd own up for his crimes. He deserved nothing less than death for what he'd done. Sir, he didn't get to finish before he was cut off by his... Oh no, nothing. Right. Not how you... Oh. Need to read. We're so full of promise at the start, isn't it? First thing, take offensive. Can have any civilian? 7 apparently. Maybe we should. Level 1. Just in case it ends up being a bit static. Might be. Right, why have we not... How is he... I don't understand why he gets... There we go. Good, you're in. Quite happy. Right. Get you. Okay. Add some. Yeah, I'm worried about our ability to hold up Birmingham. In the air. Have green air. Nice. That's good at least. Counter push. Attack, night vision, good. Yeah, not quite. This one. Fine. Cycling. Work out. That tile. Work. Ah, that is disaster. 20 years, thought Lewis and Ball as he trudged through the mud. 20 years since that acne-ridden teenager with a Sten gun shot a Fallschirmjäger outside of Ashford. How he screamed and put his hands up as the German fumbled with his parachute. How he turned round with a schmeiser. How panicked he pulled the trigger and riddled the invader with bullets. First man he ever killed. Much more fighting had gone on in those 20 years to Ball. Him being cut off had a lot to do with it. So did him eventually finding an SES stay-behind squad. None of them were too keen on ever giving up, and Ball went along with the flow. So many of his friends died, he'd seen people mauled beyond belief by explosions, been in many situations where he believed his life was over. But he kept going. One day, he thought, England would be free. Any trace of collaborationist oppression would be eliminated. England would be a true democracy, where everything would be decided by the will of the people. No monarch, no dictator would be doing thinking for England, and men like him would no longer be needed. But for now, he had to keep his thoughts in the present. Bod was tasked with wiping out a collab checkpoint and get on the top of the hill before the frontals. Ah well. Push from the Germans, Cambridge back. Of course. Visions are might be a goner. Oh, I'm frustrated. Maybe. Just me. Alright. This is only militia unit. Still. Units we sorely need. It doesn't feel like we're winning this war. Do we have any info on their kind of army sizes? They only got 25 divisions. We do. With our 2 divisions. It's so bad. Where's erupting? Just do it. That place. Hacking. One. Eventually. Boss. Auchinleck couldn't get much sleep. Not that anyone could blame him. There was so much to do that needed to be done. Supplies and logistics up north, front lines and strategy in the Midlands, infiltration and special ops in the south. You'd get to anyone. It was just a standard business of war. Staring at maps, battle lines, and the weakness of his own line, or an opportunity of enemies. He could sleep. There was a driving determination keeping him awake. If he slept, he might miss something. He couldn't let the day's work go unfinished. There'd be more problems the next day, and compounded on top of the other, he couldn't keep it up, and men would die as a result. Sleep when he got this thing done, he thought. When England was free, when the rightful queen was restored, and when Nazi domination was halted. Then he could finally take it. Well, not putting a lot of money on it, isn't it? Using ground across the set up a... Good, so they've got 2 divisions. Our infantry divisions are pretty good. In England we don't have the guns. Foreign guns shoot. Ah, we do have a little guns and stuff. So if we go to our militia unit. Likely to use all. Although Hull's probably one place we've actually come close to the port. This is we capture this tower, we can get rid of the Berkshire one. Cambridge is now coming under further pressure. No, although Syrian war. Pause from our Germany's doing. He's still me actually. Heinrich looks like. Yeah, he's lost to Goring here. Pretty strong. Bit of a checkerboard. Goring I think was the biggest in the front line with everyone's. Well, what are we going to do? Benson, who needs to be stabbed in org. Guys are losing. Straight up fight. Massive defense. I wonder if we can get another unit on our infantry. They're only 10. Look here. First. Have pushed with the hull. Don't do geography. Those. Losing the counter push. Up here. This now seems to be holding. Cycle these guys in around Cambridge. Maybe. There's 3 guys here. Look like kind of weak point, isn't it? Not a particular groups to enforce ourselves. But right, good. These recouped. Even more troops to I think that might be the Madagascar civil war. Finally at an end. There you go. So Militaristat Madagascar has. Meanwhile, the war rages up. The battle for. Yeah. Lives. Why does it take so long to walk everywhere? Working. Just. What? No. How you got there with little org? How is that right? Doing this now. Welsh Revolution. Were they revolted? An internal coup. Doesn't look. Alright, it's just a coup relevant. Interesting. I suppose you want to invade England. Actually, be quite helpful, right? Attack. Waiting, alright. It's no very little point in building. Down. That one's down. Rapid moving front. Probably let's build one in Man. Definitely. Logic there. And I might need some international allies if we're going to get out of this one. Starting to look a little shy in equipment though, is our lots of things. Convoys, no. Back up north. That's okay. I'm getting green finally. Let's advise. Advise you to see actually. Action. I'm feeling at UI. Can't. This. Prevent. Probably gonna. Aside from that, I think we might a little bit of trying to wear them down. Even Steve. And if we can get somewhere, I'm pretty sure they're going to beat us on for factories. Billion factories, 8 military factories. They're outproducing us. Why are we losing so badly here? I don't quite understand this. 70 attack, Almost no breakthrough. Outside that, almost no breakthrough. Chunky defense. 37 or. Fog's a little low, I suppose. Of the defense. Dawn coming. Green defenses we can take is how we're going to end this stalemate. Anyway, we try and push. Green. One tile, and I suspect them. At least while they're distracted with a big push over here. Might find not much behind this initial line. Another bit of another push south. A barbaric war. The church has been occupied for the past 3 days. Food had been scarce, but the men continued to pile in anything, mostly various perishables. They were constantly under siege, absolutely boxed in. Matilda didn't know where Olivia was. Paul promised to keep her. Another crash came from the front. Matilda winced. They were probably going to break in soon. Many men had already coordinated plans for escape or even surrender. She had her own ideas, of course. She had accepted that she might die today. She hoped that somewhere Olivia was thinking of her. Matilda breathed in, "Do it for her." The door burst down. Matilda ducked behind the bench near the back of the hall, anticipating a gunshot. Bullets began to fly as screams echoed around the dusty hall. Matilda nodded at all men she could see, also ducking behind the pew. 3 men. The only way they could ever get out of this was by being very, very careful. As footsteps drew closer to the benches, Matilda looked through the crack at the bottom of each bench and counted the feet sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 men. Matilda grimaced. They were outnumbered. It would take a miracle to escape. Matilda said her prayers as the enemy soldiers checked the pews. She prayed for a miracle. Couldn't have a miracle? Well, she prayed for Olivia. She smirked a little bit. God hated her. At least that's what the priest said. He heard another loud bang of a gun, followed by an eerie sound of a corpse hitting the ground. Matilda held her breath and peeked out the edge of the pew. In front of her was a leg. It turned from her side to her stomach. She wanted to go down with a fight. Matilda gritted her teeth and prepared for the blast. A bang. The man fell. The rest of his shoulders of a soldier shocked ran to his aid. They fired wildly. Conscripts clue. "Up and at 'em, boys!" screamed Matilda, hopefully exuding more confidence than she was feeling. The men ducked behind the pews, got up, firing similarly. Matilda smiled. The 4 remaining men fell. The siege was over. Resistance had won this battle. It's nice. We're not winning many battles. Oh, hang on. You guys definitely get... Shaboy. Nice. Okay, positive. Sneak through to greens everywhere for once. There we go. The revolution is well and alive. That was a fairly dicey start to the war. Still is dicey. Frontal man. We're in. Counter-attack is nowhere. Micro. Might just get something done here. No, not do that. Do not do that. Here and then go there. Okay. Thing. You with no. Some R&R on the front line. Need to hold up. In Birmingham. Maneuver. Ah, they got there. Fact. Sure, you have to see this, said Private Moss. I think I figured out whose house we just lived in. Lieutenant Fraser looked at Moss. The rebel platoon had just recently cleared out this mansion in the countryside, in the middle of converting it to temporary headquarters. What have you got, Private? This guy, sir, he said, showing a binder of newspaper clippings. Had this on his desk. Apparently this guy was one of those MPs in the royal party. Had been since the war. Bit conservative this one, it seems like. Fraser took the binder and scanned through it. Looks convincing. We have the bastard? In the garden with his family, along with household staff rounded up. Alright, Fraser said as he handed the binder back. Private, go back there and shoot this MP for treason against England. Moss was done. What, sir? A bit brutal.